All right, guys. So just wanted to do another video with you guys. This one's a little different. So I've been using Claude Code to help me underwrite. So basically, we do a ton of underwriting daily. We had to let go of our underwriter a couple weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago. Point is, it fell on me, and I became the bottleneck for my acquisition manager wanting to put in offers Jagger. So I started getting familiar with Claude Code, and basically what I did was, for training purposes, I used to record myself on Loom, underwriting properties, so I can then share it with whoever we hire as a underwriter, so they can kind of just get up to par with whether they have experience or not. If they didn't, it doesn't matter, just so they can kind of see the format in which we want it, how we want it to look, all that stuff. So I started experimenting with Claude Code, and I was like, hey, what if I just load all these transcripts of these Loom videos of me underwriting property, so it can kind of start molding itself into me, basically like a second brain of me underwriting. So that was as soon as we let go of that guy, I think like maybe a month and a half ago. So I've been working on this, sharing it with Claude Code, and then what I would do is every Friday, I had like this massive Excel sheet where I would have um, Claude produce a report of my underwriting and then Claude's underwriting, and then I also had like ChatGPT and Grok. So and then I had the address with all four people's ARV, max allowable offer, which for us is 65% of ARV, as is, as is value, like what's it worth as is, and then the reno. So I wanted to get to at least 100 properties before anything. So we finally got to 100 properties, and the findings were solid. So Claude is, in terms of the differentiator from me, how off it is for me, it was at 1.5%, which is wild, wildly good, by the way. So if I'm at 100, Claude is at 1.5. So it's at 98, it's at 98.5, or at on the other side, it's at 100, and it's at 101,500, which is close enough for us to trust those numbers, for us to move forward and take chances. The other thing that I do, um, is that I created a rubric for confidence. What I was afraid of was hallucinations. So like if it has to come up with a number, or a comp, I was like, shit, what if it's gonna like create it out of nowhere just to kind of get to it. So I created a rubric, and I also gave it permission, um, to put in complete or needs human intervention, as in, hey, there's not enough, so I'm just, there's nothing here, it's a zero. Or I do a 1 to 5 confidence, a 0 to 5 confidence. Zero being it's incomplete, there's not enough information for it to continue. Five being like, hey, there's whatever 50 comps of the same exact house on the same block, that sold 2 months ago or a month ago, whatever. So right, that would be a five, or I'm being hyperbolic, but that's the point. So just wanted to show you guys how it works. So let's find the property and let's plug it in. Oh, by the way, I'm going to share this with you guys. By all means, I did adjust it, before we jump into this. So I did adjust the skill. So normally the way it works for me is I have a trigger, which basically is I see a property that needs underwriting. I just literally go to Claude and I say underwrite, and then I write the property address. It knows to go into my Slack, which is the communication app we use for my team. It will look up the property. It'll look at the thread with all the property information that our assistants have been able to gather. It takes all that information, and then it pulls it, and it starts the underwriting process. So the more information, of course, that you give it, the more accurate it's probably going to be. But I mean, like I said, it's pretty spot on so far. It took a while to get here, but now that it's here, so just so you guys know, the skill that I'll share with you guys in the comments. I adjusted it so it doesn't automatically go to Slack. I don't know your processes. So the process of it underwriting is still there. But if you guys are using Claude or any learning language model, Gemini or Codex, whatever, just you can adjust it so it can trigger however you want it, or if you want it to pull from a certain spot, whatever the case may be. And the style, I left it, but if you guys have it different, you guys will see now when I put a property for underwriting. But if you guys want it to look different, I also have it at 65%. My max allowable offer, if I'm making an off market, like for a wholesale, let's say, I do 65% of ARV. So could be, which is, pretty could be pretty low. Some people are at 70, 75. I like to be hyper conservative to make sure it's worth my while, but we also get a ton of leads. So, adjust it, but let's put in a property just to see this thing. So I don't know what state we go into. Let's go to New Jersey, as I'm hyper familiar with. Let's see, what's an area I know pretty well? Let's go Union, New Jersey. So I don't have to underwrite. I can probably tell you if it's, if it's there or not. Let me reset all filters. Let's see what's for sale. Okay, let's choose. Okay, let's choose this one. Oh no, it's a multi. Let's find a single. Sorry guys, I just don't want to underwrite it. So, but I want to be able to tell you guys if that's accurate pretty quickly. That's a huge price cut. Okay, renovated property. It's 1940, older than I expected. But hey, so just so you guys know, what I put here is because my skill that I have here normally pulls right from Slack. So I just told it like, hey, can we use the underwriting skill that's currently on for a property that's currently listed? So I won't give you any extra information. Normally, like I said, I send it all. It's able to look at all the information that my assistants kind of pull from the conversations with the prospective sellers. Sure, I can underwrite a property. Will you be able to use the same style and all the learnings and everything from the skill? Yeah. So another thing too, guys, that I have is that after every time it underwrites, I make sure that it's on a learning loop. So every time it underwrites, it has another file that it creates that is called learnings. So every time it underwrites, it figures out a better way to be more efficient with the tokens, and it also figures out a better way to actually underwrite. So it next time you underwrite, it goes to the learnings first to make sure that it's like, okay, I've made these mistakes before. Let me make sure I don't make them. Let me read the learnings. Okay, so then it's kind of on a loop that every time it gets better. That's why, like, I think we started like at a 15% difference between its underwriting and mine, and now it's at a 1.5. And again, I'm not saying I'm the best underwriter. I'm pretty good. I've been doing it for a while, but this thing is probably better than me at this point. So sorry, let me just plug in the address. So this is in real time. I won't even skip, so you guys can kind of see how long it normally takes. I'll tell you guys if this is standard or not. Again, I'm going a little bit off of my process, but yeah. So, I mean, I guess I didn't think this through. Should I talk to you guys? I don't know. So I'll walk you through it. I guess I'll narrate. So, for those who are using Claude Code, you know this. I do, which is a little risky, just a heads up, but I've done it so many times. I do bypass permissions, just a heads up. So, which means that it's not asking me permission to go online and check. It might even open up a page that's called like the Chrome MCP, which literally you'll see like the page open and it's like clicking. Sometimes if it feels like it doesn't need to do that, it won't. Sometimes if it feels like it does, like I said, it has the green light to do it. If you don't have this thing, accept all permissions, then it'll just constantly be asking you for permissions to do certain things. Again, it's just a matter of clicking. The reason for me why it's not beneficial is sometimes I'm on the run, I'm driving, and I connected. I'm going into the weeds. I'm sorry. You can just mute me or fast forward to when the results come out. But I also have Telegram connected, so I can communicate with Claude through Telegram as long as I leave my computer on. So let's say I'm checking out a property to having to take photos or whatever, whatever the case may be, but my team is still needing me to underwrite a property. I don't have time to click and say approve, basically. So I needed to bypass permission. So let's say I got an appointment with a seller in person. Before I get there, I can trigger the underwriting for these properties through Telegram. It does it on my computer. It automatically sends the results to my acquisition manager on the Slack channel without me having to do anything. So again, it kind of limits me being the bottleneck. That's why I like it. Again, it depends on how much underwriting you might not find this valuable. And again, I guess I'll do a Google Drive, and maybe I'll share the link to the Google Drive, and the MD file, which is the skill itself, will be there. You can download it. Definitely have Claude review it before installing to make sure I'm not doing some funny shit. I advise that for any skill that you take from somebody else. But yeah, where we at with this? Yeah, so it's like talking, whatever. It's doing a bunch of web searches, trying to find comps. What else can I rant about? Oh, nice. This is done. Okay, cool. So guys, this is the results. Let's start in the beginning. Okay, underwriting summary. Okay, so it kind of details about the property. Condition assessment. Listing describes new kitchen. More blah 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 blah. This is retail ready or ready renovated property being sold at retail price. Population. So I also always kind of like when we do the underwriting, have it give it some like just general market context. Here are the comps. So by all means, you can check them. I'm not going to. I'm going to believe them. Valuation after repair value 585. That sounds right for the record. Let's see. I'm just curious. Yeah. So you see clearly. Let's assume that it was right, and then you see it was 50. It was at 6 something. Then you can see why they had a price cut, right? Thank God. So as is, they got it like at 580. I'm assuming the 580 as is like just in case Claude missed something. He's probably like just in case. Renovation, yeah, exactly. And just in case that renovation cost, just in case there's something that they're not showing us, that's what that accounts for. MAO, again, this is at 65%. You got to be at 372. This isn't one of those properties. It also has, this is pretty cool, some key signals and red flags, right? 144 days on market. The market is rejecting the 599 price point. Union's median is 29 days, right? So this is already telling you like, fucking drop this shit. Already renovated, no equity. Yeah, so it's seeing it through the eyes of me because I'm an investor. So I'm looking for value add opportunities. That's why it's like, what are you doing, buddy? Don't do it. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to share this video with you. Hopefully if you guys use the MD file, again, I'm not charging for this. Yeah, just been really helpful for me, and I hope it's beneficial to you guys. Peace.